There's a kind of strength that doesn't always look like strength. It doesn't raise its voice. It doesn't try to win every argument. It doesn't show off, or push, or seek credit. In fact, most people don't notice it right away, because it wears the face of gentleness. It looks like patience, like quiet kindness, like soft generosity. But underneath all of that, there is something powerful. And no one carried that kind of strength better than Krishna. Because Krishna didn't make people follow him by force. He didn't use fear to control. He didn't need to speak loudly to be heard. He disarmed people with truth. He led with honesty. And he gave freely, often, and without expecting anything in return. He understood something most of us forget, that if you want someone to truly open up, you don't push them. You show them they are safe. And when a person feels safe, their defenses fall on their own. There's one moment in the Mahabharata that captures this perfectly. Before the war begins, Krishna offers his support to both sides. To Arjuna, he offers only himself, unarmed, no weapons, just his presence. To Duryodhana, he offers a powerful army. It's a gesture so calm, so quietly strategic, that it decides the entire war, even before the first arrow is fired. Duryodhana, blinded by pride, chooses the army. Arjuna, with a clear heart, chooses Krishna. And in that small, silent moment, the real battle is already won. Because Krishna knew something simple. Strength doesn't always win by being loud. It wins by being trusted. This is the kind of wisdom the Gita holds softly between its verses. In chapter 12, Krishna speaks about the kind of person who is truly close to him. Not someone who dominates or conquers, but someone who is gentle with all beings. Someone without envy. Someone who acts without ego. Because that kind of presence brings peace, not through power, but through presence. And that's not weakness. It's a strength that runs deep. It doesn't need attention. It doesn't need to prove anything. It just knows when to speak, and when to stay silent. It knows how to give, not for image or applause, but because giving creates space for truth to take root. How rare is that today? In a world where everyone is trying to outshine and outsmart each other, the one who gives without needing anything back becomes unforgettable. Not because they are louder, but because they feel safe. We trust the ones who don't try to win. We open up to the ones who give us space instead of pressure. And when someone speaks the truth, not to feel superior, but simply because it matters, that honesty pulls us closer. It doesn't push people away. It invites them in. This is what Krishna did, again and again. He spoke the truth people needed to hear. But he always wrapped it in kindness. He waited for the right moment. He gave his time, his energy, his presence, with no demand in return. And only when trust was built, he gently guided people toward clarity. Because generosity isn't just about giving things. It's about giving someone the feeling that they are seen, that they are safe, that they matter. And once someone feels that, they listen. Not because they have to, but because they want to. You don't need to manipulate someone to create change. You don't need tricks or strategies. Sometimes, the most powerful shift happens when you speak from a place that's calm and sincere, when you speak with care, not control. This is what Krishna teaches. Real influence doesn't come from overpowering others. It comes from creating a space where their guard drops, simply because your presence feels honest. No threat, no pressure, just quiet truth. So if you are in a moment right now where someone won't listen, or you are facing a situation where you feel the urge to push harder, to argue, or to prove something, try something different. Pause. Take a breath. And instead of trying to win, try to reach. Speak your truth gently. Not to defeat the other person, but to connect with them. Because the moment they stop bracing against you, is the moment they actually begin to hear you. And maybe this is what Krishna always knew. People aren't changed through force. They are changed through presence. Through someone who gives with courage and no fear. Through someone who tells the truth, not to win, but to care. Through someone whose kindness isn't weakness, but wisdom, wearing a gentle smile. If this kind of strength feels familiar to you, if you often choose understanding over control, then know this. You are not being naive. You are following something far older than fear or pride. You are walking the same quiet path that Krishna walked, where truth and compassion are not separate tools. They are the same steady light. And that light? It doesn't change people by breaking them. It changes them by reminding them they were never broken to begin with.